What is up, guys? We are out here at the Verne Grand Prix, and this is going to be our last crit race of the season. We're racing juniors and Cat 3, but the juniors race with the Cat 4 as well, so it'll be a pretty big field. It's gonna be a fun, hard race. Hopefully we can make something happen in both races, but we'll see how they go. Yeah, just me and Eli out here today. It's gonna be a fun time. Gonna hopefully go super duper hard. So let's go start both of the races. We're out here for Verne. Last year, this is where we crashed, but it's not gonna happen this time. Not this time, not today. So, we're gonna go race, have some fun, go fast.
Well, thank you, Ray Mars, for hooking us up with the audio.
What's up, guys? We are jumping into race number 1 out of 2. This is the junior race, but they put the juniors and the Cat 4 in the same category race. So there's around 5-ish juniors in the field, but there's like 40 plus Cat 4. So it's a relatively big field, but there's 2 different races happening at once.
Yeah, and like this first half lap, Jack's on the front for a good lap and a half, and then he goes on for quite some time, and then that guy pulls off. Then he goes again, and what are you thinking right now, Jack?
Right now I'm just trying to keep it hard on the first lap. Don't really know what's going on behind me. And so, yeah, just trying to keep it fast, single file and strung out. Right here, one of the juniors, Odin, he attacks on the right. And so he's off the front. And Go Fast is getting organized on the front right now, trying to pull him back.
Yeah, and Go Fast brought five guys out. And they pretty much just rotated on the front for this, like, the whole race.
Yeah, they did a great job of using teamwork, and they were just setting tempo on the front, trying to set up their sprinter, Ray Mars, I believe.
Yeah, and like right here, I was just trying to move up, and I kept my speed rolling like 29, 30. And then I was like, okay, let's see if we can just pass everybody. I doubt anybody's going to hop on my wheel. So I just keep rolling past the Go Fast train, and I try and do a little attack. And then Odin, the junior, again, he attacks them to come bridge up to me, and we do a pretty good effort. And like we're rotating like 4 pulls each, and it was a pretty hard effort. Me and him were just trying to make a break happen or something.
Yeah, so they're off the front, and back in the pack, Go Fast is just like kind of setting tempo, letting them dangle a little bit off the front. But you can see they're rotating really good, taking turns. But a big field of like 40, 50 plus aren't going to let 2 juniors get away. So they get pulled back in. And Go Fast again is just sitting on the front doing tempo work.
Yeah, and like right here, one of the Go Fast dudes is off the front a little bit. So Jack tries. And he brings one dude you see in the rear cam. And now it's just like and there's one guy up the road, and now there's 3 of them trying to bring this back, and they kind of do, like, they bring him back pretty good, but Jack just ends up pulling like the whole field up to him.
Yeah, so today it was insanely hot. In our car it said like 108. The weather app was like definitely triple digits, like 103 or something. So throughout the day the temperature was a huge effect on all of the races. Super tiring, and then it was also windy, so just saving energy was like super key. I went to the back of the field for a little bit to recover after I did some of those hard efforts, but I was just trying to do a lot of work throughout the races, and I really wanted to try and get off the front and put in some good attacks, but it just didn't work out that way, and it ended up coming down to a field sprint. Right here you can see guys moving up on the right. It's getting a little sketchy. I think this is like 1 lap to go right here.
Yeah, and right here it's like, Jack, you're kind of a little far back, but you end up finding my wheel. You like move up on the right, and you end up finding my wheel, which was pretty great.
Yeah, so I'm trying to make it up to Eli, and right here he comes into view, and I get on his wheel, and I'm like, all right, perfect. We're sitting in pretty good position. Right here, Eli goes to move up on the right side, and I'm yelling at him to go. But he doesn't quite go far enough, and on the right, the big orange rider cut me off. And so I end up dropping Eli's wheel, and at this point, my race is like pretty much over because I had to squeeze a handful of brakes, and we were going like 30 miles an hour, and so it got pretty sketchy. And so my race is over. I'm trying to hang in the pack, but
Yeah, and like right here, the stage 2 took over, like their little lead out, but they weren't going fast enough, so people on the left started going, and then they kind of let the wheel go, and then I see this dude in the white on the right, and I'm like, yeah, he's going faster than everybody. I'm gonna hop on his wheel, and on my left you can see Tony from stage 2. I kind of let him in, but then I'm like, nah, I can't let anybody else in, and this is one corner to go, and right here I'm just like, let's go, and I just like let it fly as all out.
yeah, Eli does an insane sprint. He kind of open up what they call a sprinter's gap, and so then he was able to use the draft and momentum to come around all of those guys and post up for the win. He ended up winning the junior field, and the big orange rider that cut me off, he ended up winning the Cat 4 race. But yeah, this now is race number 2. This is just pure Cat 3. And this is our second race of the day. So the heat, it was like triple digits. And so I'm just so hot and tired and dying at this point. It was so hard to do multiple races in the heat of the day.
Yeah, and I was just like, the Cat 3 is pretty strung out. All the guys are very fast. And like, man, I was at this point dying because of the Cat 4. And we were just like trying to battle the heat. It was very tough.
Yeah, I probably went a little bit too hard than I should have in the Cat 4 race. I should have saved some more for the Cat 3. But so in my camera right now, people are just getting popped off the back. In the first like a lot of laps, there were riders trying to make it off the front into a breakaway, so it's like single file, and I'm not in great position. I'm at the back, and in the first like 10 laps or so, like a third of the field got popped off the back. So like right here you can see a gap opened up, and I'm just out of energy and can't close it.
Yeah, this is actually my camera. And then you see Brandon from Farmers, he actually pulls this back because I'm beat, I'm dead. And he's taking initiative and he's pulling this back for us. And then like after this corner he pretty much does it again. And I'm like, ugh, I can't pull back nothing. I'm barely hanging on. And it's the heat. It's just so bad.
Yeah, so I ended up getting popped off the back like 15 or 20 minutes into this race, and it's a 50-minute long race. And so I rolled at like my own slow pace after that, and I ended up getting lapped and hopped back in for like a lap or two. But I was just so tired, and I didn't really see the point of me to continue racing, so I pulled out of the race, and Eli was representing Bros Ride Bikes and finishing the Cat 3 race.
Yeah, so right there's the little attack from like Kyle Kilmorton and like 2 others, and that was the winning breakaway. And then there's like 3 more dudes that bridged up, but like I never saw it go. I thought it was just like a full-on field, but then I heard everybody else say, "Oh, there's actually a breakaway." They were gone, and they were like, it was a strong group of guys that were up there.
Yeah, so now we're going into 1 lap to go right here, and there's a break of like 6 or so guys off the front or something, and so they're like sprinting for 7th place, and Eli's in pretty decent position, I'd say. He needs to move up a little bit more, but again, it was just so hot and he's so tired, and so he kind of was just going to roll in for a field sprint with the pack. But going around this corner, it got really dicey, and one of the Go Fast riders he was on the outside and he got too close to the curb going around this corner after the corner, and he ended up like clipping his pedal on the curb and crashing into that van. You can see him right there. And so that kind of sketched Eli out a little bit. And so there was no point in really sprinting for 20th place, so Eli rolled in with the field.
Yeah, just like 24th or something, I don't know.
Yeah, but it was still an amazing race. Just the fact that he finished the Cat 3 race in the heat was just awesome. But yeah, it was a great racing out in Laverne.
Yeah, it was an awesome time.
Alright guys, just finished the Laverne Grand Prix. It was an awesome day of racing. Eli with the win in the junior race. Pretty sketchy, but still a fun time out here. Last crit race of the season.
It was very hot, and just that was a big factor. And it's kind of hard. It was hard to recover, so it was just a really hard race. But awesome last race of the season. And as always,
You know it.
Bros Ride Bikes.